For centuries, the Star of Bethlehem has intrigued historians, scientists, and people of faith. It has been described as the sign that guided the wise men to the birthplace of Jesus. But what exactly was this star? A supernatural event? An astronomical phenomenon that we can understand today? Or something that unites science and faith in a divine narrative? In this video, we will explore the sky at the time of Christ's birth and discover what it has to reveal to us. We will analyze the scriptures, dive into scientific evidence, and examine theories that have fueled human curiosity for centuries. Stay until the end, because what you will learn today could transform the way you look at the sky and, more importantly, at your own faith. Now get ready for a journey where the sky speaks to us. The narrative of the Star of Bethlehem begins in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 2, verses 1 to 12. There we read about wise men from the east who came to Jerusalem in search of the King of the Jews newly born. They claimed to have seen his star in the east and followed this celestial sign to the small town of Bethlehem. But who were these wise men? The word wise men comes from the Greek term magoi, referring to scholars and sky observers, likely from Persia or Babylon, regions known for their advancements in astronomy and astrology. At the time, the stars were more than just bright points in the sky. They were seen as divine messages. Kings and leaders often associated celestial phenomena with important events, such as births or changes in power. For these wise men, the star represented something monumental, the birth of a king so important that it led them on a long journey through the desert. Furthermore, the prophet Balaam, in the book of Numbers 24:17, had said, "A star shall come out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel." Many scholars believe that this prophecy might have inspired the wise men's search. The connection between the prophecy, the sky, and the birth of Jesus forms a rich web of symbolism and meaning. By understanding this context, we realize that the Star of Bethlehem was not just an astronomical phenomenon, it was a divine call that resonated with the messianic expectations of its time. And yet the question arises, what exactly was this star? Could it have been a miraculous manifestation? Or is there a scientific explanation for this celestial event? Now that we understand the biblical and historical significance of the Star of Bethlehem, it's time to observe the sky through the lens of modern science. What exactly was that celestial phenomenon that guided the wise men to Jesus? There are several intriguing astronomical theories that could offer a fascinating explanation. One of the most popular hypotheses is the planetary conjunction. In 7 BC, the planets Jupiter and Saturn aligned so closely in the sky that for observers at the time, they might have appeared as a single bright star. This rare conjunction would have occurred in the constellation Pisces, a symbol associated with rebirth and, for many, with the nation of Israel. This would have been a significant event for the wise men, who were experts in interpreting the movements of the stars. Another possible explanation is that of a supernova, a stellar explosion so bright that it can be seen for weeks or even months. Chinese historical records indicate that around 5 BC, a new star was seen in the sky for approximately 70 days. Although it is impossible to confirm whether this supernova was visible in the region where the wise men lived, it is an intriguing candidate for the phenomenon described in the Gospel. There is also the comet theory. Comets are celestial bodies that, as they approach the sun, display a bright and striking tail. They were often seen as omens of great change or significant events. A famous example is Halley's Comet, which passed by Earth in 12 BC, though this date is considered a little earlier than the birth of Jesus. In addition to these theories, technological advances allow astronomers to recreate the sky exactly as it was 2 millennia ago. Using software that simulates celestial movements, scientists can explore and test these hypotheses with precision. These studies reveal how ancient observers, like the wise men, might have interpreted extraordinary astronomical phenomena as divine messages. Whatever the explanation, the most incredible thing is that these phenomena do not diminish the spiritual significance of the Star of Bethlehem. On the contrary, they expand our understanding of how the sky, the work of God's hands, according to the Bible, may have served as a sign for both men of science and men of faith. After exploring the astronomical theories behind the Star of Bethlehem, an intriguing question arises. How can natural phenomena be interpreted as divine signs? The Bible often describes the sky as a means by which God communicates his will. In Psalm 19, verse 1, we read, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament shows his handiwork." This passage highlights that the cosmos is not just a scientific work, but a living message that reflects the Creator. The wise men were scholars of the sky, but they were also seekers of spiritual meanings. For them, the Star of Bethlehem was not just a celestial alignment, it was an invitation. This event showed how science and faith, although seemingly opposites, can walk side by side. While science helps us understand the how of the universe, faith reveals the why. Noteworthy astronomical events appear several times in the Bible as symbols of divine intervention. During the crucifixion of Jesus, for example, there was darkness over the earth. Luke 23:44. In the book of Joel 2:31, it is prophesied, "The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord comes." These accounts show how God uses the heavens to capture our attention and convey profound messages. But why is the sky so powerful in impacting us? It is vast, mysterious, and above all, universal. Regardless of time or culture, we all look to the same sky. This makes the Star of Bethlehem a timeless symbol of light, hope, and divine guidance. Even today, we can see the reflection of this truth. Celestial events, such as eclipses or meteor showers, continue to fascinate us and remind us of the grandeur of the universe. But more than that, they invite us to reflect on our role in God's creation. Just like the wise men, we are called to look upward and seek more than scientific answers, to seek purpose and direction for our lives. If the Star of Bethlehem guided the wise men to the place where Jesus was born, what lesson does it offer us today? This celestial symbol transcends its historical and biblical context, inviting us to reflect on how God continues to guide us in our own journeys. Just as the wise men followed the star in search of answers, we are called to look for signs around us, not just in the sky, but in our daily lives. The Star of Bethlehem reminds us that God operates in both the extraordinary and the ordinary. Even if we do not see a bright star in the sky today, he gives us signs of his presence through events, people, and opportunities that cross our path. These modern signs often require us to be attentive, just as the wise men were attentive to the prophecies and the movement of the heavens. More than an astronomical event, the star is a symbol of hope. In a world full of uncertainties and darkness, it points us toward the light, a light that not only illuminates the path, but also transforms us inwardly. It invites us to step out of our comfort zones, to ask difficult questions, and, like the wise men, to undertake a journey in search of something greater than ourselves. And this search doesn't end with the birth of Christ. It continues in our lives as we seek to grow in faith and understanding. Just as the star led the wise men to meet Jesus, we are called to follow our own journey until we find the peace and joy he offers. Today, we have traveled through centuries of mystery, explored the scriptures, and examined the heavens in search of answers about the Star of Bethlehem. We have discovered that it is more than a mere astronomical phenomenon. It is an eternal symbol of hope, faith, and divine direction. Whether through planetary conjunctions, supernovas, or miracles, the most important thing is what it represents. A call to look beyond ourselves and seek something greater. Science helps us understand how the cosmos works, but it is faith that reveals its purpose. The Star of Bethlehem reminds us that the sky is not just a natural spectacle, but a living work of the Creator, a testimony of God's greatness and the love he has for us. And so, as we look to the sky today, the question remains, what are you seeking? Like the wise men, we are all on a journey toward the light.